But Seward was being honored at this party, and he actually went to 4 different ones. As you can tell by his potlatch hat, has 4 different notches on it. So he goes to all these potlatches, gets all of these gifts. Now traditionally a potlatch is a cultural exchange / a way to show your generosity and things like that. So within a few years, if you were honored in one, you're expected to throw one back to share your culture and also to pay back that generosity. Well, I told you there was a massive language barrier at the time. That's my assumption. He could have just not cared. We don't know. But basically, he didn't, as far as we know, he didn't know about it. So he gets this honor pole carved and put up in his name. It's a great time. He takes all these gifts and he leaves. Well, the natives are waiting for him to come back. And they wait. And they wait. And they wait some more. Finally, somebody figures it out. He's not coming back. So they go climb up his honor pole, paint his lips, ears, and nostrils as red in a sign of shame and stinginess. So his honor pole became a shame pole. That's actually not the end of the story, though. So about 5 years ago, we had a few of his descendants come on a tour just like this. How would you feel if we're like, yeah, so your great-great-grandfather did this, now we have a pole to shame him? They didn't like that. So they were like, hey, well, shame poles can be taken down if the debt is paid or the wrong has been righted. So they went and asked, hey, what would it take to get this taken down? And the city of Saxman has stewardship over these poles. They're like, oh, we can figure out how much those gifts were at those potlatches. So they go, they get the big number, or they get the number, and it's $1.2 million. I've also heard 2.2. I have not been able to figure out which one's the real one. But either way, it's still up. They left. Then the next pole over here I mentioned is the mystery pole. We don't know much about this pole. So totem poles are an oral tradition. The pole itself is just kind of like a helper. It's a prop that has some of the pieces on it. Doesn't ever have the whole story on it. If you look at a pole, you don't know the story behind that pole. We can look at a few things on this pole. Up the top is a raven hat on a chief. And that raven hat, even though the beak is yellow, also fallen off, but the beak used to be straight. And so we know that it was a raven because the raven is a straight beak. The eagle has a hooked beak. So it was a raven with a yellow beak for some reason. But then below that is a wolf. And then below that you have a man with a 5 o'clock shadow. Now, it's a two-toned face. Two-toned face is your spoiler alert, somebody died a horrible and tragic death. Anyways, in this case it's white and black. Frequently it's like red and brown or something like that. So it just depends, but it's a two-toned face, so we know something happened. Then below that you have a shape-shifting figure. The reason we know it's a shape-shifting figure is it's a man and a bear at the same time. So one head has, or the bear head has human-like features like teeth on it, and then the human head has bear-like features like nostril and bear teeth. That's how you know it's a shape-shifting figure. That's all we know about that. Anyways, the next one over is the shaman pole. So up at the top you have a owl, and then at the bottom you have a weasel. Now the owl tells you it's a shaman pole. Then the weasel is the shaman's spirit guide. So if you were to come up to this area, you're coming down on a canoe because that's how they traveled here, was all through the waterways. You'd be going, you'd see the owl, and you'd be like, hey, this village has a shaman. Not every village did. So you could go there and get spiritual or medical help. Then the last pole over here is actually not the last pole. It's part of a set of 3. So this one is Eagle Beaver. So I mentioned the eagles and the ravens of your clans, right? There's a great perception